Assalamu alaikum viewers, I'm super excited for this episode of Talk at HSM. Why? Because I have a very dynamic female leader sitting with me. And the best part is that she is highly educated. She went to USA for her undergraduate program at Oberlin College. Then she studied at Imperial College London. And finally, she went to Oxford University for her master's program. This is a very rare combination that you have such a highly qualified person working in the local industry. Currently, she is director at Fast Cables and looking after marketing, strategy and HR. So let me welcome Saima Mian. How are you doing?
Assalamu alaikum, doing fine, thank you.
That's great. So Saima, as I've introduced you, you had very good degree programs from the best universities of the world. And now you are working as one of the directors of Fast Cables, which is a very well-known local brand. So how do you see this transition? How did this happen?
So I think education, in addition to technical knowledge, it gives you good communication skills, analytical skills, number crunching, etc., which help you in any field. And I've been very fortunate that I've had a variety of experiences. I started off with product management in one of Pakistan's leading pharmaceuticals, and then went on to teach students, O-level students. I taught them biology. And then I spent a lot of time in project management, where I was dealing with people from different countries, different areas of speciality. And I think all these experiences together have helped me in my current job.
Yes, that's great. So let's go back to your academic career. How was your experience at the University of Oxford?
I really enjoyed my time at Oxford. The college system in Oxford, I was at Worcester. It reminded me of my undergrad years at Oberlin, which is a small liberal arts college. The college gives you a sense of community, whereas the larger university experience at Oxford, it gave me an opportunity to interact with diverse people, attend conferences, go to lectures, anything from music to politics. And I found that was a very enriching experience.
So, if students at the currently, if anybody would like to go to University of Oxford, what would be your advice to that student?
I think generally we need to focus on education beyond just passing exams. If you focus on your education and you try to get a wide range of explore a wide range of interests and excel in whatever you do, I think that is the key to getting admission in any good university.
But don't you think it would be very challenging to get into University of Oxford or Cambridge, because the merit is very high, they're very selective in taking in. So if I ask you, how should they be preparing, because you have the background of getting admission at the university at the master's level, so how should they be preparing for it? Any tips for the students?
So as I said, academic excellence is a given.
Okay.
So if you can show that you've pursued a rigorous academic course, for example, taken a wide number of subjects, and you've excelled in all, so that is always a starting point. But in addition to that, doing internships, pursuing extracurricular activities, work experience, I think all this helps build your profile. And even going in for an interview, don't take it casually, be prepared, do your homework, do research, start off the application process early. I find a lot of people leave it right till the end, and then they scramble to put together an application. So an application, the homework for it actually starts a few years before. Okay, so you need to be very clear about what you want to pursue, and then take 1 or 2 years to build up the profile, which will actually help you get into university.
So Pakistan is a very male-dominating society, and you are at a very senior position. So did you find it a bit difficult role being a woman at a senior leadership position?
See, when it comes to leadership, I think people accept you as a leader when you're able to show some value addition, and you're able to demonstrate excellence also. So I think these two things, once they're out there, people are more willing to accept you as a leader regardless of the gender. Having said that, yes, it's a bit challenging in our environment, but I have been very fortunate that early on in my career, I worked with some really amazing ladies who were very generous with their time and mentored me. And that gave me the confidence, and it also sort of gave me a roadmap, which I think has helped me get where I am today.
So are you also mentoring your female employees?
Absolutely. So we are very keen to induct women in our team, and of course it's on merit. So, but whoever joins, we do have what we call like a fast family group, where we try to provide support and mentoring apart from the line manager. You know, because with the line manager you have a different kind of a relationship, but then with other senior employees or people or women in the company who've been there for like maybe 9-10 years, they can provide valuable advice and also just provide support. And I think that helps that helps young women settle.
That's interesting. Because you went to University of Oxford, and I've heard that your daughter she was also lucky to get admission at the same university. How is this experience when your daughter is also going to the same university? And I think she's doing her undergraduate program?
Yeah. She just went off to Cambridge this year.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right.
So she's a first year at Cambridge. She's doing psychology.
So she went to my university then?
She went to your university, yeah. We tried to get her to go to Oxford, but she preferred the program.
Okay.
She's doing psychological and behavioral sciences, which is offered at Cambridge. And, she's having a very good time. She finds, again, the same thing that I found, a very diverse experience where you get to meet a lot of people. You actually enjoy learning. So when she talks to us, the thing that I appreciate the most is she says, I'm enjoying learning. So, that's the best that a parent can wish for.
Yeah. So if you are enjoying studies, that means that you are learning.
Yes.
That's the first thing. So coming back to Fast Cables, Fast Cable has seen a tremendous growth in the last 5 years. So being the director of the company, what is the secret sauce there? How did you guys make it happen?
So I think one of the key drivers has been innovation. So the management has been very focused on bringing in the latest technology in Pakistan in cable manufacturing. And then we also set up a state-of-the-art manufacturing facility in Raiwand, and that has doubled our production capacity. And finally, we've invested a lot in our human resource. So I think these three things have been the key drivers.
So innovation,
state-of-the-art manufacturing facility, doubling your production capacities,
right,
and investment in human resources, in their professional development.
So it is said generally that the Pakistani companies are not investing in HR, in their human resource. Do you agree with this?
I think the trend is changing. So when I started off here, I found that HR was not considered a separate department. So admin and HR, when they club together, I think routine admin tasks sort of take over HR initiatives. So one of the first things that I did was I separated admin and HR. And within HR, then HR is typically viewed as just recruitment, but there's more to HR. So creating an awareness, and then again demonstrating how HR actually brings value to the company. And I think we've come a long way, and people have begun to appreciate. And I think this is a trend which needs to continue. So unless we invest in our human resource, not just in Fast Cables, in Pakistan overall, that will be the key to our success as a nation.
So when we talk about human resource, of course, I belong to a university here. So HSM is also very keen on the development of the good human resource, because we have our undergraduate program, then the master's program, and MBA and executive MBA. What would you like to see in the undergraduate students or master's students as a business person?
Yeah, so that's a good question. I come across a lot of CVs where, so we have a writing test. It's not even a test. It's where you just have to express, why do you want to do this job? how do you think you're qualified, what relevant experience you have, and what are your aspirations in life. And I find a lot of people struggle with just putting a few sentences together.
Okay.
Then for people who are going into accounts and finance, we just have a basic number crunching test. People struggle with that too. And then there's an aptitude test, you know. So I think the quality of education, that is something that we as a nation need to focus on, right? So it shouldn't just be about getting a number of graduates out in the market. It should be about getting good quality graduates out in the market. And I'm glad that there are universities who are now taking this into consideration when they're preparing their candidates and sort of making them, sort of aligning them with the job market.
We have recently started a program which is called COP. It's so during the undergraduate program of the students in their last semester, they will be inducted in the industry as employees. So within their undergraduate program, they would be able to have the industry experience.
Yeah.
Do you think such programs should be offered, and would you be willing to induct students for such programs?
Absolutely. I think these programs are very important. Every year, we actually, in the summer, we take interns, and we are happy to do a rotation. And again, it depends on the interest. So, you know, if you come in with an approach that I just want an internship to show on my CV, then perhaps the learning will not be as much as if you go in with an approach that I want to get to know the most about this company, learn the most about how HR works or how marketing works in whatever time period, and do a project. Personally also, I found that work experience is really important, especially before your postgrad studies. So I would encourage everyone, even for like my own daughter, we've always encouraged her to do summer internships, do a research program, etc. Because that really helps you when you get to university and beyond university also, when you want to enter the job market.
And it of course helps you in developing your character building as well.
Yes.
You get exposed to the different aspects of life.
Yeah.
And you get to learn from the other people a lot.
Absolutely.
So as we are talking about the learning and the women learning, the women leadership learning is very close to my heart. We talk about this a lot, that in Pakistan, the representation of women in the corporate sector is literally negligible, and we really need to work at it. So in your opinion, what should we be doing, me and you, to improve the representation of women in the corporate sector?
I think identifying role models, that's very important. So from my own personal experience, I mentioned that I was very lucky to have women leaders when I started working. And I think we should be mentoring young women and maybe have more forums where there's interaction. That would be a start. Another thing is for women to establish an understanding with their family, whether it's the husband, parents, whatever, of why they want to work and how that adds value to their lives and to society at large. So once the family is on board and you have a support system, it becomes easier for women to take part in the corporate sector. And finally, I think sort of need to have an understanding that if you don't want to be distinguished in terms of pay grade, then you need to put in the same time and effort that is required in the job. So I'll just give you an example. Like when I started off, and this is back in the 90s, so my job required me to travel all over Pakistan. I had to go to Quetta, Peshawar, Sakkar, Larkana, in addition to Multan, hold conferences over there. And I remember when I landed at Peshawar airport, I was the only woman there. So, you know, take those things in a stride and put in the work, the hours that are needed, and deliver results. And once you do that, you manage to make a space for yourself.
Yeah, I think delivering results is the key.
Yes.
So if you are a woman, it's not an excuse.
Yes.
You have to be very competitive, and I'm happy that you have told us that you went to all these small cities, because this is a very challenging thing, but being a leader, you have to do it. If you want to become a leader, you have to do it.
Yeah, and you have to learn how to interact with different people. So, I mean, as I was working in a pharmaceutical, I met a lot of doctors, I met medical reps, there was a foreign expert who was traveling with us. So, you know, interacting with different people helps you build people skills, and also you have to sort of keep updating your technical knowledge. So when I joined the cable industry, for example, I took the full training that we give to our sales team. I remember when I was working in the Middle East on a green building project that was new at that time, and I started a professional certification, which is at that time was done by the US Green Building Council. It's called LEED AP. Now we have it in Pakistan also. So staying up to date is also important.
Yeah, so true, so true. When I was looking at your profile, it was very interesting, and I must appreciate it. You have also written that you have taken about 4 to 5 years off for your family. So tell us about this, how important it is to take the time off for the family.
So my daughter was a priority for me, and when she was born, I took time off, and my husband and I agreed till the time she goes to school, I will take a break.
Okay.
And that way I was able to, devote more time to her. And we were living in the Middle East, so we didn't have the nani dadi ka ek support system hota hai.
So true, yeah.
So we didn't want to, sort of compromise her early years. And I think she appreciates it. Now that she's grown up, she appreciates that. And I found that it didn't really make much of a difference. I think people are more accepting now of career breaks. In fact, I was happily surprised to see that LinkedIn has given you that option now. But taking a career break doesn't mean that you completely switch off. You can do a lot of things. In this day and age, you can do a lot of online courses. You can read books. So there are various ways in which you can keep yourself engaged, but at the same time, be able to give time to your kids when they're very young. Once she started going to school, I was very fortunate. My employer over there was open to the idea of flexible hours. Now, flexible hours doesn't mean you come in for less time. It just means you adjust your hours in a way. So I used to get an early start, like drop her off to school, get there at 8 before everyone, and then maybe leave an hour before, and then take all that work at home, and when she's gone to sleep, at night get it done. So his approach was, just get the work done. I don't care how you get it done. And so you have to make, there's always some compromises, right? And some adjustments. And I think as long as you get the work done, I think it's okay with employers.
So it's the quality that matters.
Absolutely.
Not
it's
the quantity of hours.
It's not just clocking in hours. It's doing productive quality work.
So that it's important to know, actually, a person like you believes that taking a break will not hurt your career to that extent, and you can always merge that gap by doing studies online, by improving yourself.
Qualifications.
And perhaps part-time job might be one of the options.
And these days, I think you can do online work also easily. You can do online consulting work. You can do teaching. You can, teaching people is also a very good way of remaining up to date.
Because you have done that.
Yeah. So I think there are lots of opportunities. There's no one formula. So you have to sort of work out and evaluate the options that fit your lifestyle and your circumstances the best.
So we have talked about your personal journey. So anything that you want to do it all over again, anything which comes to your mind that yes, I have done it in this way, given an opportunity, I would like to do this in another way.
See, I see life as a collection of experiences, right? And I've managed to get a wide range of experiences. I think they all add to your personality. So don't necessarily want to go back and do something, but I do think of things that I would like to do ahead in life, right? So I think a forward-looking approach helps me keep myself, focused.
Oh, that's good to know, actually. So coming to almost the end of our talk, what is your advice to the teachers, to the instructors, that how should we be helping our students, because you have yourself been a teacher. So how should we be helping our students to improve themselves, to prepare themselves for the corporate world?
Teachers are the key to good education. So yes, universities, schools, etc., with facilities, they do make a difference. But if I look at my own experience, I look at my daughter's experience, or even at Oxford, it's the teachers and the professors who took a personal interest, made the extra effort to guide you, to be able to provide advice, etc. I mean, I remember them to this day. So I think for teachers, again, to go beyond simply imparting that technical lesson plan, I mean, that's of course important, but at the same time, make it relevant to today's world and focus on the soft skills. So effective communication really goes a long way in life. And I think students need to come out of schools and universities with effective communication. And basics like Microsoft Office, you know, you don't have to come to work and pick that up. You can do it as part of your training.
Learning experience.
And to offer students research opportunities. Because when you do research, you take a sort of responsibility for your project, okay? For sort of drafting a problem, a question that you want to investigate, then collecting data, etc. So I think that's very valuable experience because it teaches you problem solving also. And when you come into the workplace, if you're equipped to deal with problems and find solutions, you have a more sort of a constructive and a positive mindset.
Okay. 3 tips to UMT students that they should be doing that to excel in their life.
Step out of your comfort zone. These are the years where you have the flexibility to explore new opportunities, new interests. And it's cliched, you know, find the thing that you like most, but it's actually true. If you're doing what you like, you're going to excel in it, right? So stepping out of the comfort zone, exploring new interests, and focusing on soft skills.
You think that this would be the combination?
This would be the combination, and technical knowledge or whatever, like if you want to become an engineer, you need to have that, right? So that's a given, but in addition, sort of challenging yourself, again, if you're doing well in your courses, take another challenging course. Okay? It will add value to your life. So, but don't sort of forsake the soft skills, and if you have internship experience opportunities, do take them up. So pushing yourself a little, stepping out of the comfort zone.
I think that everybody should do it actually, should get out of the comfort zone. My last question to you is about the economy of Pakistan. So, and especially you have the first hit of it because you are the corporate world. You are in the production field. So how, my question has 2 parts. How is it hitting you? And what do you think as the part of the corporate fraternity to solve this, not to solve this problem, it's a huge problem, but what can be the baby steps, you know, to overcome this kind of an issue that we are facing in our economy?
Right, so recently, last year when we made our 5-year plan, when you talk about how it's impacted us, obviously we've had to make changes in it, right? Keeping the current circumstances with import restrictions when it comes to raw material. But I think it's also an opportunity for exploring import substitution. And that is an area in which Pakistan really needs to work because there are limits to dependency on imports. And so for us, that has been sort of like it's opened up a new avenue, right? So we've recently made a conductor which previously was being imported, and now we're manufacturing it and supplying it for the distribution network. So the transition away from too much dependency on imports, I think that is what's going to help pull us out in the long run.
That's true.
Yeah.
So what you're suggesting that we as the corporate manufacturer especially companies which are into the manufacturing, they now need to focus and need to be innovative enough to focus on the indigenous productions.
Absolutely, and export Pakistani brand.
Export Pakistani.
Yeah.
So are you guys in exports, fast?
Yes, we are, and we are exploring further opportunities for export. We've recently launched Fast Lights also, so we're adding new business lines, and exports is the way to go.
Yeah, I completely agree with you on it. So thank you, Saima, to be with us. It was pleasure talking to you. And viewers, I'm sure you must have enjoyed our show. So see you next time. Take care.